6:30, so I will call the work session of the mayor and council for the city of Snellville, Georgia for Monday, January 8th, 2024 to order. The first meeting of the year. Happy New Year, everyone. So first we'll go through the regular business meeting. I don't have anyone for the invocation. Is there anyone that would like to volunteer?
Norman? No?
All right, we'll make something happen there. Pledge, anyone?
Happy to. Aye.
State your name.
That's it. You go aye and then you listen to everybody else.
Then we'll be presenting the proclamation for the Festival of Trees winners, and then Kelly also be recognizing the others, the second and third place people as well. Approval of the minutes. We have Battalion Chief Tommy Rutledge with Gwinnett County Fire is going to give a little 5-minute talk on the carbon monoxide alarm program.
Would he like to do the invocation?
I don't know. We could check. Then we skip on down to new business. I'll be nominating 2 associate judges. These are essentially going to be fill-in judges. Judge Reisig has resigned because he's doing other things or got busy.
He moved to Milton, so that
He moved to Milton, so. So we're appointing these 2 judges to be able to make sure they've got enough in the rotation, should they need them. And then we have Resolution 2024-01. If anyone took the time to read all of that, they are shrinking down the water capabilities of our toilets. Jason, anything you want to talk about there?
Just a state mandated update to basically low flow restrictions on plumbing fixtures. In order to even change our code, we have to have the state, just like we did with the comprehensive plan, we have to send a resolution off that says, hey, we're changing it, they'll review it just like that, send us back any problems, and we'll kick it back down to you guys for first reading and a second reading. There'll be no planning commission approval. It's just some more unfunded mandates for us from the state.
Mm-hmm. Probably wind up costing the consumer more money to build a house or buy toilets.
But it's all our fault.
Yeah.
then you gotta flush them twice.
And hope you don't have kids. And then we'll be, again, passing the resolution, hopefully, anonymously for the city of civility.
Or unanimous.
Right.
What did I say?
Anonymous.
Yeah, I'm worried I'm slipping because sometimes I'm thinking words, but other words are coming out of my mouth. So yes, that, what he said is what I would hope that we would all agree to. And then, Melissa, I know you're not gonna like this, but we thought after we passed the resolution, if you would step down to the podium and read the bottom part of the proclamation,
Yeah.
which is the pledge, and then we will say I do after. Kind of swears in for that. And then we have the city manager contract, which we've got a few points to discuss, and we'll do that in exec session just before the meeting. And then consideration on the election of mayor pro tem. And then council report, so that's it for the regular meeting. Any correspondence? Any city attorney's report?
Quite a bit. Okay, first thing, I'm gonna hand out a proposed resolution which would need to be added as an agenda item tonight. And that's for that side of the table and one for the mayor. This is an extension of our moratorium on medical cannabis dispensaries. Now, this is not CBD, this is specifically medical cannabis oil. Although the state of Georgia has started licensing the THC oil, there's still a lot of upheaval. As recently as November, the DEA sent a letter to all the licensed pharmacies and told them that it's illegal for them, since they are licensed by the federal government, and marijuana is still illegal under federal law, just not under state law. Well, it is illegal under state law, but the THC oil, the low dosage can be dispensed. So we need to make sure we are not alienating any businesses at the same time we're approving businesses. So we've only been this was initially done back on July 10th, and we are, July 10th. And so we are asking to extend it to July 10th of this year. So it'll be just the first renewal of this. So if so, again, we'll need to add that as an agenda item.
Resolution 2403.
And would that be under new business or old business?
That,
New.
yeah,
I was that would be new business.
new business.
Yeah.
So it would be
Item
new,
G.
new business item G.
She is in Ruby.
Okay, ready for me to move on? All right. We had a successful quality of life court. And then another thing that we've gotten through is we have made contact with the legal department of Big Lots, who had 5 outstanding citations that we've had for a while. And their assistant general counsel agreed that they will pay all of their fines, the full amount, which is going to be $5,000 in fines. They also have agreed to work with us to abide by our conditions. Now, of course, we've heard things before, but that has always been at the store, the local level, with Johnny talking to those folks, and they change over a lot. So this was actually at the corporate level. It's one of the this is the number 2 guy in their legal, and he's one of their senior vice presidents. So when he was going to contact the logistics team and tell them not to make any deliveries outside the hours. So we'll see, and if they don't, we'll continue to find them and go after them. But at least we had some progress there. Snellville Pavilion, the people that manage that property have agreed to furnish at their expense. No trespassing, no loitering signs around the back behind Texas Roadhouse. Also, we had some identification of a fence being down around some new places at the pond. They were told, of course, it had all been fixed, so they are going to have that fixed. They also are sending out a crew. They may have already done it. There's quite a bit of trash that has blown up against the fences. They've asked their trash people to get them before and after photos so they can document that they have done it. And then the back awning, kind of in the middle, it's not behind Ashley and it's not behind Coles, but in the middle, their awnings back there have gotten pretty needing painting, a little bit of repair, and they're agreeing to get those cleaned up as well and painted up on those. At the retreat, just kind of a heads up, there's been a lot of discussion about trying to streamline the abatement process, because right now it's quite a lengthy process. We have to get title searches done, and it's an expensive process, and title work done to make sure we're getting all the right parties involved, and then we only have court 6 times a year. So I'm going to be asking that we could begin having court quality of life court once every month. 2 things I'll do. One, it'll actually make it quicker, so that we won't be there as long each day. But even if we were adding an additional day, looking at cost-wise, that wouldn't, an additional day wouldn't be more than about $850 a month, maybe less. And we've kept below our kind of the $10,000 kind of guideline per month that we try to keep below. We've consistently kept below that, so we're not going to go over budget by adding that. So that's something for y'all to think about, but that's what we'd like to do.
On a
Melissa's,
trial date,
I'm just, each
QOL trials.
QOL, well, just a full QOL date. It's just like we've been doing. We do everything kind of in one day. We have arraignments and then they get kicked over. We'll do trial. We do both arraignments and trials the same day.
Okay,
Is that gonna make a problem for you all?
I'll let you know.
Okay. I said, I just.
That'll be a retreat topic, we'll be talking about
Yeah,
that.
so I just wanted to kind of throw that out there, but that would allow us
Yeah.
to have abatements done quicker, so. And then the last is a hugely important item, the annual dinner before the retreat. I think we're thinking about just doing it close by, so doing it here locally, since I think no one's spending, as far as I know, no one's spending the night downtown the night before. So we're thinking about just not this Friday, but a week from Friday night, hosting dinner. So if y'all can let me know if you're available to go, interested in going. Don't want to eat with me, I don't care, but just let me know if that works. We'll go ahead and put that on your dance card.
So we're eating Friday night?
Yeah, we
Yes.
would eat Friday night.
Because last
before
year,
the retreat.
And then just go
afterwards,
home.
but-
Yeah,
Last-
last year we did the after.
Well, we were gonna do
Yeah.
it on Friday night downtown,
Oh.
and then we had the riot, cancel
Oh, yeah.
everything.
Right.
And then, so we bumped it to the Saturday, and
How soon you forget.
I just got the
Pretty
vibe,
riot.
everyone was kinda tired after all day at the
Right.
session, that, it's like, okay, we're gonna go have dinner, so it just seemed to make more sense to do it the night before, if that works for everybody.
Yeah.
So,
I can do both.
you can do both. Fair enough. All right, and then I'm going to request an executive session for real estate, litigation, and employment. So make it worth the time.
Trifecta.
Okay. All right, update of ongoing projects with our new city manager.
So just referring to your project update here, the town center construction progress. We had a pavilion contractor punch list walkthrough with Michael Kidd last week. If you haven't had a chance to go over the pavilion, it looks really good. The tongue and groove on the belly, I call it the belly, the backside of the roof there looks good. The tree work that they did around the center post and up, I mean, it looks, I think they could work for Disney. I think they could work for Disney. This looks great. I mean, it looks really good. So they've got some minor punch list things that they're working on. We don't expect them to be out there much longer. Smith Built, the contractor that's working on the market building for us, they're working on waterproofing and roofing right now. And they're going to be soon working on masonry work, exterior masonry work, once they get some of the roofing and waterproofing things done. We're still working on, in fact, Chuck and Mandy and Brian had a call with Casto today to continue to go over lease terms and things like that. We'll have an update. We'll give you that. Michael's made some significant progress on the Grove sign. And so we invited him to come on back next meeting to present to you guys what he's come up with there. And for Norman and Carrie, I don't know if you've been here before, Michael's presented
Yes.
that project, but, okay, good. So he'll be back to kind of give you a final look at it before we decide what we want to do with it. Sidewalk improvements, the Skyline construction is going well. We're working on scheduling a pre-construction meeting on Pinehurst. It's all one project, but we're kind of treating it like two separate projects. So before they did anything on Skyline, we walked out there with Backbone and we looked at every parcel. This is what's supposed to go here, and it took half a day. I mean, you just walk through every aspect of the project. We'll do that same thing for Pinehurst in the coming weeks, where we'll be out there with them and looking at each individual parcel and what the impact is to make sure that they understand the work that's supposed to happen on that individual parcel.
Question.
Yeah.
I have a sinkhole forming from where they finished up the water line work.
Okay.
Should I put that through Larry, or should I contact Department of Water Services? Because it's going to impact the sidewalk.
Yeah. Contact water, but send it to me too, and I'll send it
Okay.
right to Jimmy Powell, who's the superintendent for the
Okay.
county. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's getting bigger every time it rains.
Okay, yeah, thanks for letting me know that. I'll send it to
Tomorrow,
them.
it's in-
It'll get bigger tomorrow.
And the Springdale drainage work, you recall, that's the kind of the separate contract that we had to do the drainage work along Springdale. And that most of that work has been done. There's a culvert under Springdale that we'll need to replace that we're connecting directly to. We've made that connection to it, but now we've got to replace that pipe that was failing as well. So that's what this week's task is. Under city business cleanup and beautification, so the Primerica property that's up there is the Busan property by, escapes me, the school that's there, the
Cobble Creek
Cobble Creek
Studios.
Studios right there. So that's all been cleaned up and barricaded there. So we appreciate Johnny for staying on them. The large GDOT tract will be going out for bid soon. We'll keep you all posted on when that happens. So as far as MNC input on development zoning guidelines, so ARC had some comments for Jacobs. We're working through those comments on things that we need to revise on the plan. We're still on track to approve that in February 24, but we'll keep you posted on if there's any major things that we need to do with that. Jason, anything to add on that? On any comments? Okay.
This is the comprehensive update?
Yeah,
Comprehensive plan.
Yeah, they did receive some comments back from the state, so they have to work on those. And then we're supposed to have tomorrow evening a work session for the planning commission for any notes or comments they have, and then we'll get them all wrapped up, and then Jacobs will fix it. And I guess it might have to resubmit back to the state for any changes, so I'll let you know how that process goes.
Okay.
And whether or not it's gonna, push it out a little bit, or how it's gonna affect the calendar.
Yeah, because if we're gonna have to send stuff back, we might as well wait until after the retreat, if we can do that time-wise.
Yeah, I'll let you know what Jim says.
And just in
because
case
got
we
that.
have any more tweaking that we do
Right.
in that discussion.
Okay.
So Jason, is there anything substantive with those comments?
I mean, there were
That
missing
would-
elements, they
that
said,
would-
but I don't know what the comments mean specifically to the plan until I talk to Jim. Because, I mean, it looks like a bunch of comments that I could see that we had the stuff there. So it could be a new reviewer, you never know. We just need to see how they react to it, and then I'll let you know how substantial they were. I don't believe them to be substantial, just missing plan parts, it said, but we'll see.
Okay.
The reason I ask is, we want all of you to look at the comprehensive plan before you come to the
Mm-hmm.
retreat, and if there's things in there that have changed, we just want folks to have the most current information, so when we have that
I'll know more,
discussion.
after Wednesday.
Okay.
And we can talk about it Wednesday night.
Okay.
Just to follow it.
Thanks, Jason. Package sales, nothing's changed there. Chuck and Jay are still handling, I think. that
Right.
would be
As far as
something
anything
we'll talk
outward in
about.
public, it's just the lottery is delayed. There is not, and we'll talk about this later, but it's very clear, the city is committed to going forward with a lottery. The city will have a lottery. It has just simply been delayed until the legal process with the appeal is completed. As soon as that happens, everything will kick in high gear.
Okay, we appreciate that. As far as Briscoe Park is concerned, the maintenance building work is progressing. They're hoping to have a CEO by Monday, this coming Monday. So they're working. We have a meeting this week with GMC to kind of discuss the design schedule and kind of put our ducks in a row before we kind of start the official project rollout of designing the building. So I'll keep you posted. It's really just a phone call with me and Amy just to kind of go over a few things before we go full bore on that design process. So we'll keep you posted on that. Reached out to the county on kind of transferring of the old library. They've routed, I don't know who they've routed it to, but routed the deed for signatures and things like that. So hopefully we'll be seeing that in the coming weeks there. Todd had an idea for folks, for all of you, in preparation for the retreat. I don't know how many of you had a chance to actually go over there and look at the old library. But we've had conversations just really high level on what we think we may want to do with that building. How does it fit with what we do at the community center and maybe even the new library. So if you would like to go and take a tour of it, just to put your eyes on it and kind of see what it looks like, We'll set that up for this coming Wednesday before we have our work session meeting, about 5 or 5:15. You can be out there and we'll have it open and you can just take a look at it. There's still, most of the furniture is still in there. The county has sold that furniture to someone that they're arranging for the pickup. So the furniture will be in there, but you can still get a good look at it in the inside if you'd like. So just let me know if that's something you want to do so I can just make sure to coordinate that with you.
So you said 5.
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock.
Meet over there at 5.
Yeah, meet there at
Okay.
5.
Yeah,
We'll have it open for you. Okay, perfect. North in Wisteria, so we're scheduling some in-person meetings with some of the business owners there to when you're talking acquiring right-of-way and impacts on property, people like to be able to go see it out on the property. So Larry and I are working on scheduling a few. Before Butch left, he had kind of gotten to a point with some folks where we just need to go out there and look at it with you and kind of show you this is where your monument sign may move a few feet back this way, and this is where the edge of the road will be, and this is where, that type of discussion. I'll keep you posted on how those conversations go. Traffic calming, so we've executed the contract, and we're working on scheduling a pre-con meeting with Backbone as well. As part of that pre-con meeting, we've asked Backbone to actually use some paint on the road so we can show residents this is where it'll be and the impact, and so that we wanted to have all that in place before we go out and talk to folks to make sure that they understand the impacts and work through any questions or concerns that they have. We'll let you all know when we kind of schedule that meeting with folks. We talked about the fun part of the retreat, Chuck's dinner, but just as a reminder, there is a business part of that. So Wednesday, January 10th, here at the community room, we'll have our kind of a pre-retreat meeting. Part of that will be the opportunity for our department heads to give a brief presentation of what's gone on in their department for the last year, give you an opportunity to ask them any questions. That may spur some conversation, ongoing conversation at the retreat. On the 20th. We'll have some food here for folks if you want to come at 6. We'll have, a meal so that you're not, department heads don't want you happy when they're giving their presentations. If you're hungry, you're probably not going to be happy. So please come ready to eat something and listen. We've had a lot of great things happen over the last year, and the departments are looking forward to showing you what they've been working on and what they hope to accomplish in the next year. With that, so that's this Wednesday, and then January 20th from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. we'll be at GMA's headquarters in Atlanta for our annual retreat. Last year, I think a lot of folks just carpooled. I think we just met here and kind of caravan down. So if you don't want to drive down to Atlanta, I don't blame you.
No more than 3 council members in a car.
Yeah. We can coordinate that with folks.
Think about the
So we can
Out of an abundance of caution.
Yeah.
Abundance of caution.
Who's gonna govern?
3 is good, 4 is the problem.
And just a couple of
Yeah,
other
no more than
things.
3. Just no more than 3.
Talking about calendar items, Matt and I are meeting with Louis Cooksey tomorrow, the head of Gwinnett County Transportation. We like to meet with him periodically, just to kind of keep him abreast of what we're talking about and see what's on their radar, and then collaborate on issues where we know there's some traffic issues. So we're doing that tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. 2 others are welcome to join.
I'll be there.
All right. And then also tomorrow night, and I'm going, and I think Norman said that he was going to go as well, so no one else has to go. But if you're interested, Gwinnett DOT is having a stakeholders meeting for Gwinnett cities. We're required, it's part of, they're planning on doing a T-SPLOST ballot item in November. And so this is a required meeting with stakeholders, so that's why city representatives have to be there. So that's taking place at 6 p.m. at Rhodes Jordan Park in Lawrenceville in the community center there. So I'll be attending that meeting, and like I said, Norman said he was going to go.
Well, we all know Gretchen wants to be there.
What date is that?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Okay.
Tomorrow at 6.
Block happening tomorrow, okay.
Yeah. And then we have the work session retreat, essentially the pre-retreat here Wednesday. There's a ribbon cutting. If you should have seen an email from Tacos and Tequila on 124 North in front of Hobby Lobby. They're doing a ribbon cutting, and I guess some food will be available from noon till 2 on Thursday. And then Friday morning, pretty exciting thing for South Gwinnett High School, West Point. The Academy of West Point is coming for a visit. I guess it's kind of going all day. They've got a conference going all day, but there's a morning session.
The part is gonna be 8 AM to 9:30 in the theater, so if anyone would like to come. I won't be available until about 8:30. So my first and second period class. And once that's done, it'll be about 8:30 and I'll be over there.
So it's a really,
Yeah, it's a
really
big
big
deal.
deal for this to be coming here.
They
So-
usually have parking for dignitaries in the bus lane in the front. So
Okay,
if you park in the front, there'll be people to direct you.
okay. All right. But it's the West Point Leadership, Ethics, and Diversity in STEM Workshop. They call it LEADS. So there'll be cadets from the United States Military Academy at West Point. So it's a really big deal
Big
that
deal.
South was able to get them to come here. Okay. All right, next, item B, discussion on city participation with neighborhood flock cameras. This was, I think all of you got an email several weeks ago, it was back before Christmas, about a neighborhood requesting that the neighborhood had, their HOA had installed flock cameras at the entrances of their neighborhood. And due to the cost, they're requesting city participation and support for the cost on that. So I know there's been a few discussions around, but we turned it over to Chuck and Matt, I guess Greg's not here, and PD to talk about the feasibility of that request.
So I'm happy to talk about the legal side of it. I mean, the flock cameras are great. Love flock cameras. They're wonderful. They can do a lot of great things. The problem in this case is we are being requested to provide a service to basically private individuals, a neighborhood, and we're not allowed, the city can't do that. The city can't provide special services for individuals. And even, it goes as far as just because you live in a neighborhood doesn't mean that people who don't live in a neighborhood. So, I mean, theoretically, if you provide it to one, you literally would have to provide it to every citizen that would want one. Obviously, that is not feasible or practical. So that's really the limitation, and that's just simply state law, that we can't do that. It falls under what's called a gratuities clause, and can't do it. Certainly, if they want to provide a feed, now that again, that's going to be Greg's department, but I think if they want to provide a feed that the police can monitor, I think there's probably not a problem with that, assuming that there's a manpower ability and the police can handle that. But legally, that's not a problem. But just to providing public funds to benefit an individual neighborhood or individual subdivision, although I understand that it may catch bad guys and that kind of thing. Nonetheless, it's something being sent to a privileged few, and we can't do that as a city.
Any questions or discussion on that?
Pretty much takes care of any discussion we
Yeah.
can have. So,
That's it.
Not in legal compliance.
I can spoil lots of conversations.
Yeah.
Who invited you to this
Yeah.
party?
So who will craft a response to the gentleman who,
I can.
okay. Just,
If I
we
put a
don't all need
reminder on the
to,
phone. Yeah, we don't all need to be, to put back in. Okay, and then item C, an update on property tax collection. Since the city took over, if y'all remember, and for our newbies, up to 2 years ago, the Gwinnett County has been billing and collecting our property taxes, and with the little issue with the new tax commissioner at the time, that was gonna charge us a whole lot more in personal fees, we opted to bring it in-house. And one of the major considerations or worries of a lot of cities in deciding to leave it with the county has a really good collection rate on getting all their taxes collected. So I just asked Melissa if she could put together a little update on how we've done with property tax collections. So she provided in the packet information. So Melissa, if you want to take over from there.
I had Daniel, our property tax clerk, just give me the numbers for the past 3 years. And if you look on the summary for 2021, this is based on monetary collections, not actual number of parcels collected. So that's why like 2021 looks like we've collected 101%. We collected the money we budgeted for that year, plus any penalty and interest and, that is accrued, people have been paying, so that's why that number shows more than what was budgeted. For 2022, we're at 97%, and for 23, we're at 95%. I also sent out a spreadsheet today that shows the delinquent numbers on what has not been collected. We need to think about moving forward on how to collect the people that are not paying and have not paid the last 2 to 3 years. But I think we're doing really well on collections. Daniel does a great job. We've not had, the first year was a little rough because people were not familiar with the city billing themselves, but they're getting more and more used to it. Amazingly enough, we do still get calls of people saying, well, I didn't know you were billing.
Yeah.
We're on our 3rd year, so, but, I think it's going well. We've not had a lot of problems. Things have smoothed out. I think we just need to take that next step of, okay, now you're delinquent, what are the repercussions? I think people have realized we're into their 3rd year and, we've got 5As filed on 21 and 22, but we don't have anything for 23 yet. We're working on that. So we just, as part of this discussion, would like for everyone to kind of think about moving forward with that 3rd and final step to hopefully push the collections up to, the 98, 99, 100%.
So what's the total number of parcels that are
I
collected?
didn't count them, Todd.
Okay.
That's
All right,
every
I-
parcel for every year. If you look
Okay.
down, I think it was at 1,300 or something, or maybe, I'm sorry, it might be more than that, but that also included personal property as well as real estate. So it looks large for the 3 years, but when you take out the personal property, which we would still, we can still put in tax sales as well. And any fees that we charge related to that, we pay out to AMS, we pass on to the people, the delinquent taxpayers to pay, so AMS is paid through them.
For the retreat, can we have a figure that shows how much it's costing us per parcel to collect taxes ourselves?
You mean like figuring in salaries and everything, or you just
Well,
mean?
yeah, because the total
Some
cost, we made the decision to bring it in-house
local.
for, because we didn't want to pay
County fees.
the,
Tax
well,
per parcel.
well,
tax
the-
Commissioner
to-
fee.
yeah,
Their
the
collection.
tax commissioner, her gratuity.
Can you forget that?
Are we being as efficient as we can be?
Okay. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, anything else? All right, so we'll move to exec session, but before we do that, I know there's a police officer that needs to be sworn in, so if I could just,
Was there 2?
I did the 2, but there's a 3rd one.
Oh.
Who was just coming from a long way away, so
Okay.
we'll come by the door and
Or just
I think they're out there.
come stand in front of the crowd.
That would be exciting.
We've done that before.
You know you get to stay now. You
Yeah.
don't have to leave anymore.
Swear in officer. If you'll raise your right hand and repeat after me, I state your name.
I, Mason Chumley,
Do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of
the
Georgia,
Constitution of the State of Georgia,
and the Charter and ordinances of the City of
and
Snellville,
the Charter and ordinances of the City of Snellville,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
and that I will, to the best of my ability,
faithfully perform the duties of the office of police officer
faithfully perform the duties of the office of police officer
during my continuance therein.
during my continuance therein.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Welcome aboard.
Two.
He looks like he ran here.
Probably did.
Makes me feel old.
Just a little workout.
Young little kid.
Just a little workout there.
Run to the meeting.
Microphone?
Actually, I should wait probably, right? Yeah, because we need to close, they need to close them.
Please speak into the microphone full time.
I mean, it's good.
I know I look like a tree. I was walking in this morning going, I'm dressed like a tree. I'm like your pavilion out there at the. Get a little pointed hat.
Only time I get to swear at an officer. Where he can hear you. During the work session of the Mayor and City Council of Snellville, Georgia, Mayor Bender announced that certain matters should be discussed in the closed session of the meeting and asked council to advise the city with respect to closing the meeting. City Attorney Chuck Ross advised the city of the following reasons to close the meeting: to discuss pending and/or potential litigation, settlement claims, administrative proceedings, or other